The widow's last meal. In a dusty, drought-stricken land, the sun beat down mercilessly on the people of Zarephath. Crops had withered, rivers had dried, and hunger haunted every household. Among the suffering was a poor widow and her young son, barely clinging to life. The widow's hands trembled as she scraped the bottom of her flour jar. Just a handful of flour and a few drops of oil remained, barely enough to bake one last piece of bread. Tears welled in her eyes as she thought, "This is all we have. After this meal, we will surely die." As she prepared the fire, a stranger appeared at her gate. His robe was worn, and his eyes shone with an unusual calm. It was the prophet Elijah, sent by God to test her faith. "Please bring me some water to drink," Elijah called out. The widow hesitated but obeyed, fetching water from the little she had left. As she handed him the cup, Elijah added, "And bring me a small loaf of bread." Her heart sank. "Sir," she said, "I have only enough flour and oil for one last meal. My son and I will eat it, and then we will die." But Elijah's voice was steady and full of assurance. "Do not be afraid. Go and do as you've said, but first, make me a small loaf and bring it to me. Then make something for yourself and your son. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. The jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the day the Lord sends rain." The widow stared at him, torn between doubt and a flicker of hope. Could this be true? She decided to trust the prophet's words. Gathering her last bits of flour and oil, she made a small loaf for Elijah and brought it to him. Then, something miraculous happened. As she returned to the kitchen, the flour jar was full again, and the oil jug overflowed. Day after day, no matter how much they ate, the supplies never ran out. The widow and her son were saved, and through her faith and obedience, she witnessed God's provision in the midst of despair. The drought eventually ended, but her story became a timeless reminder that faith, even in the hardest times, can unlock miracles. This story reminds us that even when we feel like we have nothing left, faith can open doors to blessings we never imagined. Like the widow, trust that God can provide, even in your darkest hour. Thank you for joining us in this time of reflection and prayer. May these words bring peace and comfort to your heart. Until next time, may you walk in the light of love, grace, and divine peace.